Wow, that's kind of fun. Okay, so I guess this is like hello. Look at my beautiful mess. I am a human, and I have long thought about making this community about how to be human, a community with other humans where we can share our experiences about how to be human. Because I have struggled a lot to figure out how to be a human, and I am not young anymore, so I have tried many things, and some of them are working, some of them are not working. And what I figured out, what's working for me might not work for you, but there are some basic human needs that we all have. So our strategies is differing. Like some people like biking, some like horse riding, some like fishing, some like football, whatever. Like there's so many opportunities to be active, and and what I choose is my choice, and what you choose is your choice. But sometimes we can struggle to figure out what to choose. And what I see in society is that we have divided ourselves, like it's very much division. There is much of the black and white thinking. Uh, and what I would like to promote is more like a holistic process of looking at the whole human experience as a whole thing, because we need to have a balance to thrive as a human. So for me, that looks like I sleep at night, I'm awake in the daylight. So I have that balance of rest and activity. And I do meditation, I do movement, so I'm still, and sometimes I combine them. So I do movement, meditation. For me, that looks like Qi Gong. I'm a Qi Gong instructor and have exercised Qi Gong for over a decade now. Like it was in 12, 13, well, more than a decade ago. I began Qigong and I found it very interesting. I could feel the energy between my hands. Um, but I'm not like I'm not into all the woo woo stuff. But I am also, so it's kind of a paradox because I'm very much critical thinker. I had a psychosis back in 2010, 11, just around New Year. So, and that experience in my life gave me a sense of okay, there is something bigger, but there is also reality, and how to balance that to have the spiritual awakening or whatever, like the whatever you would like to call it, like the energy upwards. And it doesn't really matter if you call it God or the universe or force, source, life energy, love, whatever you would like to call it, but that spiritual um, connection. But we also need the grounding, uh, to be grounded in reality, and to be the human, live the human experience. And that is very difficult sometimes because it's so paradoxical. There are so many paradoxes, like we have the yin and yang, the duality, but we also have the one, or like the whole unit. So to understand the human experience, we come into this world thinking we are one with the mother. Then we have the division, like, oh, we are separate from our mother. But then it's like, oh, we are all one, like we are all connected. So it's kind of it's a process of like going back and forth between these duality and oneness. So we get this sense of our individual, but also where our individual is located in the greater schemes of things, or in the wider perspective. And it's just very difficult. Like I also juggled a lot with the masculine feminine energy. Like I have had like a very distinct like division in me, like this is my feminine, this is my masculine, and now I'm trying to make them work together and be more united. um, but it feels like sometimes it feels like a war going on inside of me. And I have heard many other people describing this, and some like the white and the black wolf, or the angel and the demon, or whatever, like this division within the duality that we experience as humans, and how to find balance and peace with that kind of war, if you like. It's difficult to do on your own because we are like totally alone, like isolated, because we are a part of the broader human experience, and we need other humans to reflect ourselves, to mirror, and to, when we are, especially when we're children, we need to co-regulate, and when we adult we regulate ourselves. But sometimes we in the critical thinking, and like you can be critical thinking with yourself, but only to a certain extent, like how broad your experiences, or like your vision, or your struggle to find the words, like how much you have expanded already, so you have a certain capacity. And to deepen that capacity, you need other people to come with inputs, and you can have this input output, like this reciprocity going on, and to collaborate about it and elaborate and develop. And what that's what I would like to cultivate, and share my with sharing my experience, and also the tools that I have found by being a musician, making music, creating art, and being creative overall, and doing the Qi Gong, the energy training, to keep the balance within me, and the connection to Earth, connection to the universe, and to have that peace within me, the inner peace. And I can feel like my heart is kind of racing, because I have so much. My heart is like say everything at once. It's kind of fun. Um, so growing up in this culture or this society of like being very much in the head all the time and kind of divided from the body and not really being a whole human, but only being rewarded for what your brain or your mind can produce, and the production. It's very like productive, the very masculine energy, the yang energy, and not so much of the yin, the more feminine energy. And lately I've been more interested in going into the yin energy and really cultivate that side of myself and honor it, and says it also has a value, and it's actually very, very valuable. And it's not what we reward in our society. We don't reward peace, calmness, inner practice like meditation, grounding, nature, like not producing anything but just being. What is rewarded is doing and being productive and being competitive. Sometimes a bit is rewarded about collaborating, but it's like collaborating for uh, a company to be in a competition kind of thing. So it's collaboration within the competition. And I can say, oh, well, that's great to have the balance between the feminine and masculine. And in some cases, that is great. But sometimes if you're just exploiting nature, exploiting humans, exploiting animals, exploiting life, and not really giving anything back or like doing any greater good in the world, then I'm not sure. I'm not here to put any judgments or anything, but I'm more interested about like what are the balance here, because every time you do something, you produce something, you also have some kind of um, loss or demolish, or like it's sometimes creating stuff is ruining other stuff, and it's because it's all connected. You cannot really tear everything apart. You can look at parts, like, but it's in the greater scheme of everything. It's kind of all connected. So, um, and what do I want to say with all of this? I want to share my Patreon with you, and I have only just started with 2 tiers, and I think there will be more. But I'm also kind of, yeah, because I'm trying to feel like what is needed, and what do I have to offer? How do I want to offer it? And I really want to have that give and receive from the heart. And I know that what I do is not for everybody, but I know it's for somebody. And I want to meet those somebodies that I am talking to. And because I don't want to use force, but I do want to contribute with what I can contribute with and be able to share it, because that is also a great thing. Like it's not really to pick apart, because like when I give from the heart and you receive to your heart, so it's from my heart to your heart, then that's a gift for me to give to you. I'm kind of sad that we live in this money world where everything has to be put up in money, but I also recognize that that's my own wound about being growing up, like hearing about the, oh, we don't have enough money to do this and that. And so I have like a wound there about money. And I try to see money as flow of value. So if you value what I'm doing and you find value in it, you can give me value by money and or whatever, like, and you don't have to give me money if you don't want to, if you don't find value in it. So it's like I don't want to force, but I want to be open to receiving. So I'm also working on being open to receiving money, because that has been very difficult for me, because I have a lot of, oh, it's the big companies earning money and exploiting the world and the banks and the blah blah blah. So I'm trying to get past that story and to the narrative of money is just value flowing, and it's not that I want to keep. It's not I want to build an empire or something. It's more that I want to build a community where we can work together to be thriving as human beings, because I know I kind of miss that community space where I can just be myself and be understood, be listened to, and also listen to other people's stories and have that reciprocity and shared humanity, giving and receiving empathy. And I really want to cultivate and harness that, because that is so important in today's society with so much of the division, the black and white thinking. Um, I see a lot of people struggling because they have that kind of thinking, like I have to do something, or they are evil, they're bad, and this is good. And um, it's really hard to get past that. I know, and I sometimes slip into it as well. So it's nice to have small reminders of like, oh yeah, we are all just humans trying to meet our needs. And sometimes the strategies are really shitty. um, and it's not always easy to figure out what the best strategy is, and you have to try many strategies before you find something that's working out for you. And maybe later in your life you figure, oh, that strategy is not helping me anymore, I need to find a new strategy, and so on. So it's always developing and changing and evolving over time. And that, of course, you need alone time and to sit with yourself and be able to be with yourself and take care of yourself. But we also need other people to have that mirroring and reciprocity, connection and understanding, and feel we belong and have meaning in our lives. Um, to have a safe space where you can just be you, without judgments, and look at the judgments from a perspective of, okay, what is this just judgment of yourself or other people trying to tell you? What needs are not getting met in this situation, or what needs are getting met if it's like a positive judgment? So how can we understand ourselves on a deeper level? How can we have this shared humanity? That's what I'm about. So yeah, see you.